Hey, this is Notser, and we're taking a look at the Tier 8 Premium French Destroyer, Le Terrible, on the map North. For my build, the only things that are different is Expert Marksman, Demolition Expert, and Advanced Firing Training. I wanted to reinforce its fire chance. It has, I think, 11 or 12 default, so I've invested in Demolition Expert, I've invested in the Signal Flag, both of the signal flags that improve your fire chance, and my goal is to open fire at maximum gun range. Without advanced firing training, it's just not really possible. It's too easy for the enemy to locate their shells and actually hit you. But this is a French ship. It uses main battery reload, and as compensation for having a main battery reload that has a low cooldown and has 75% improved reload, unfortunately, to benefit from that, your base reload has to be incredibly high. And this ship's reload is 7 seconds by default. Now, if you're looking for a enjoyable experience all the time, consider RQL's Shipstorm Saturday. This video is sponsored by RQL. RQL is hosting a fast-paced tournament called Shipstorm Saturday. The tournament takes place September 8th, which is today, at 4 p.m. Eastern on the North American server. Teams of 3 will face off in Tier 7 and Tier 8 ships on small maps with a maximum battle time of 15 minutes. Players on the team, which takes first place, will each receive 9,000 doubloons with ample rewards for second and third. For more information, join the Shipstorm Saturday Discord at the link in the video description. Now about that reload, you feel like you're a light cruiser, or maybe even a heavy cruiser. It's really bad. And I don't know that this main battery reload module is worth it. It absolutely does a lot of damage in a short window. Unfortunately, I feel like there might be a negative multiplier on the fire chance. I'll throw 5 or 6 salvos at a battleship and I'll get maybe a token fire, if I'm lucky, under the effect of main battery reload. So I'm just frustrated by this ship. I feel like it could be better. It should be better. Hopefully it will be better. But right now, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. And it's just so apparent when you fire your gun and you're still waiting for the shell to reload. But hey, at least you have main battery reload module on a low cooldown and you can take full advantage of it. I know it's offering something different, but I wish it didn't feel as uncomfortable. It's sort of the same situation as Charles and San Luis, where the reload was a little too nerfed and the playability wasn't quite there. The only time it felt incredibly powerful, and let's be honest, it doesn't feel very powerful even in its current state, is under main battery reload module. So I'm just trying to figure it out. It doesn't have a lot of armor. So pretty much everything sticks, or pretty much everything overpens, depending on the gun caliber. There's no shatter whatsoever. You're not going to have a Soviet destroyer instance where you got 50 millimeters of armor. Nope. It's a giant destroyer that moves very quickly. Players cannot keep up with that, and it can turn into very intriguing instances of maneuverability and avoidance, but it's not gonna blow the doors off damage. And that's a problem in a game that rewards damage primarily over all other actions taken by the player. I'm gonna try to do my best damage, and initially A point looked like that place. We fired on the Shimakaze. You might have noticed that I located the shells a little inaccurate, where they hit the top of the superstructure, and I think they were hitting on a gun or an AA platform, and it did 0 damage, right? The main battery reload has to work. If it doesn't work, you can't keep up with the damage requirement. There's a lot of pressure to use it. It has a 10-second window and 75% reload. So you basically need every single reload it gives you in order to justify the ship itself. And there are many times where I will go to press the button and the effect is on, but my target has disappeared and there's no one else in range. Or I'm having to maneuver and the guns are traversing so slow that I can't keep them on target. And I think this is the direction they want to go for the French. They want expert marksmen to be a requirement. And, you know, I'm completely fine with that, especially if I get this kind of maneuverability in the open water. But I just don't like the reload. The reload is the part of the ship that feels the worst. If you could get it down to 5 seconds, 6 seconds, I just think it would feel better. We would start having a good conversation. I honestly, if they could create this ship for me, I would make it have no main battery reload and have the reload 4 seconds. That's what I would do. I feel like it would be more fair. It wouldn't feel so weird when the effect is on, and you wouldn't have any of those weird instances where you've used the ability, but the target's gone, or they're dead, or whatever. It's just... there is a potential in the ship. I just don't know that this particular configuration is there. So we got a third fire. 60 shells making contact with the enemy, and only 3 fires. 13% fire chance, by the way. There's just something that maybe I shouldn't invest in fire chance. If I could do it all over again, and maybe I will, you know, get rid of Demolition Expert and maybe just not worry about it and take those points, maybe faster torpedo rearm. I don't know. The torpedo rearm is very short, which is nice, but your concealment is also not as spectacular as you would hope. You're really fortunate if you are not spotted immediately whenever going after an objective. This is the best possible concealment that I could muster, and it was 7.1, which outranges the torpedoes by about 1.9 kilometers. And oh, here we go, here we go. This is what it was made for. It was made for a broadside target in a very close proximity, and we're just going to unload with our cooldown. Just look at how much damage we do per salvo. AP was a little high, and I just wanted to see how much AP did. Looks like it's doing okay, and there we go. Now the slow reload, and of course, the window was perfect for someone to take advantage of. It is so jarring to go from a reload of 2 seconds to a reload of 7 seconds. I think they need to dial back the main battery reload effect and improve the base reload. Maybe make it 5 seconds. Or 4 seconds, and give it a 50% reload effect whenever in use. Just something so it doesn't feel so ridiculous. But enemies defeated, and we're still alive. We've done 73,000 damage. Part of that is because there is a battleship in the background just allowing a fire to burn. It is one fire, and that's what you're supposed to do under instances like that, but you know, it doesn't feel like I've done 74,000 damage. It feels like I am trying my best to keep this flank occupied, being visible. It's absolutely wonderful how hard it is for them to hit, and I enjoy that. I wish I was rewarded more. Otherwise, I would have no problem with this ship, you know. Keep firing at me. Keep being spotted so my team can exploit that. That's fine. But since damage is so important, and these guns are so slow reloading, it feels, you know, screwy. And you can see how I am trying to angle to move towards or away from a target, and I can't do any bit of angling at all. The guns just don't have the firing arc. It really is very frustrating, but no one can keep up with this speed. I've played this ship probably 5 or 10 games, and I've played it a very similar fashion. And yeah, the secondary Yamato, it's been ages since I've seen a secondary Yamato, but hey, got my smoke, drop off detection, gonna send a torpedo towards the target, the side that I hadn't used previously, and I'm gonna decide, okay, I feel like I can fire from protection in smoke. Of course, I was the one detecting the Iowa. Smoke duration feels fine. It might be German. It might be, I think I think it's very close to German, and we're going to try both HE and AP on this broadside and see how much we can do. So we do about Missed the location there a little bit on the AP, but in general, we did about 10,000 damage in 10 seconds. That's not bad for just gun systems at range. You know, it's very nice, but it just feels like the player has to work too hard for the little damage that they can actually do. I would like the gun angle to be a little bit more lenient, just a little too stiff, and improve that reload just slightly. Just playability, and obviously compensate by nerfing the main battery reload, but I think overall that would make a ship that's more attractive. I'm very attracted to just open sailing and being impossible to hit. That's very cool, but I'm sure people would like to actually earn XP when they're playing a premium. Usually the goal is to make credit, and you can't make credit unless you're making XP, and you can't make XP unless you're doing damage, capturing bases, looking really awesome. So we got like the perfect broadside on this guy, and we're just shoving in shells right at the top of the hull where he's got 32 millimeters of armor, and yeah, take him out very quickly. 4,000 per. The consumable is wonderful for that. We've got the capture. Just want to avoid dying. Please avoid dying. This Arpeggio Takao, Atago, he's outstanding. I can't believe he can just be in open ocean, visible, sailing around, and no one can hit him. And oh, very close to dying. Not going to be spotted anymore. I've used all my consumables. Quite literally, all my consumables. One thing about the ship, I'm not 100% on this, but I feel like the top speed is bugged. It will only display 48.9 knots in the water, and it's supposed to go up to 55 knots in the water, or 52. It's absolutely supposed to hit 52. I do have the speed signal flag, so there's some governor or some protection in the game that maybe they need to code in or code out to stop it from preventing that speed. But, you know, other than that, I don't think there's any bugs related to the ship. The torpedoes do, you know, very little damage. The one torpedo that I actually hit the target with, it didn't cause a flood, which really sucks. But we've done, what is it, 184 shells, 5 fires. We did unload probably 40 AP shells, so not exactly the best comparison compared to something like the Royal Navy destroyers, but it's still there. I love the open ocean sailing, just full speed in the open, visible. The targets are trying their best to hit you, but they just can't. That's appealing to me. It certainly plays nothing like any other Tier 8 Premium DD, and I think that's great, but they could make it a little bit more appealing if they would dial a couple traits. Obviously, allow it to go top speed. I would improve the reload by nerfing the main battery reload, because I just feel like the main battery reload is just a little too unforgiving. And I would try and improve the gun angles of number 4 and number 5 gun. Just maybe a degree or two. It's really precise how much of the side of the ship you have to show in order to get all 5 guns firing. But overall, I enjoy my time playing it. It looks great. I can't wait to actually play it when it's fully out. We got 2,200 base XP, 150,000 damage done. Worked out. Hopefully you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.